All right. Well, all right. Well, that brings this road trip to a close. Um, Now, when I left Zion, it was 2 o'clock, 2 p.m., but that was 2 p.m. Uh, Mountain Standard Time, so technically 1 p.m. So it took 10 hours to go 494 miles, so an average speed of just under 50 miles an hour. And I think that's you know, given the state of the infrastructure, that's probably what you should expect. I think the Bolt with better charging available would be able to do a lot better than that. And the average for the whole road trip, the average mileage and everything wasn't so bad. I mean, especially given how much of the driving was done at 70 to 75 miles an hour. But the lessons sort of learned from this though are, the Victorville to Las Vegas is doable, um, but the that's the easier route. So the Las Vegas back to Victorville is actually a more difficult route. And either way, I would say, um, to make sure it goes well, um, be up to 80, at least 85 to 90% state of charge uh, when you leave Las Vegas to go to Victorville or vice versa. I think what happened to me too that I didn't account for is I think the temperature started dropping a little bit more rapidly than I expected, which it also had an impact on the efficiency. And then one more reason to be extra charged leaving Las Vegas and then heading back to Victorville is there's no safety net. So if you're going to Las Vegas, you have a couple of options where you can stop and, like, absolute emergency, you have level 2 charging available. But going the other direction, there's nothing. So Victorville is just basically on an island. Now, I know if you go to PlugShare, there are things like RV parks and whatnot, but there's no just regular EV charging spot where you can stop, plug in, get 20, 30, 40 miles in an hour and then unplug and go. So, um, yeah, that I would say use caution. So when Baker finally gets their fast charging, that'll make, the trip will almost be too easy at that point. Um, but that's even better in terms of having a sort of a safety net um, for the trips back and forth. But like I said, I barely made it back to Victorville. Um, yeah, I barely made it back to Victorville, and that was just sort of, I was watching the mile estimator and then watching how much distance I had left and just keeping track of the lay of the land and how much energy it was taking. So I slowed down. But that's the other thing too, is you'll probably still need to be close to the posted speed limit. So going too much faster than that, you're gonna sap more energy, and poor weather conditions could also affect it. So just be aware of that. So it's still not necessarily an easy trip, um, but it is very, very doable. So, all right, guys, good night.